I never thought something strange could happen right outside my own house. You see, I've lived here for years, and my backyard has always been the most ordinary place you could imagine. Grass that never grows the way I want. An old fence that creaks whenever the wind hits it. And a little shed I've barely touched since I moved in. But sometimes, the most terrifying stories don't begin in abandoned buildings or dark forests. Sometimes, they start in the places you know best. And that's exactly what happened to me when I found myself lost in my own backyard. It started on a perfectly normal evening. I had been working all day and wanted some air, so I stepped outside just to clear my head. The sun had already dipped behind the trees, and the first shadows of night were crawling across the grass. I remember taking a deep breath, enjoying the quiet, and thinking how peaceful everything felt. But then I noticed something different. The backyard seemed bigger than usual. At first, I thought it was just me being tired, but when I turned to look back at my house, I froze. The lights from the windows seemed farther away than they should have been. Much farther. I laughed nervously to myself, telling my brain to stop playing tricks. But when I walked a few steps forward, the ground didn't feel right. The grass crunched like it was dry, but I knew it had rained the day before. I bent down to touch it, and it wasn't grass at all. It was sharp, almost like little glass shards sticking out of the dirt. My hands stung, and when I pulled back, there was a thin red line across my finger. That's when my stomach dropped. This wasn't my backyard anymore, or at least, not the one I knew. I called out, just to hear my own voice echo in the silence. But there was no echo. My words disappeared into the air, as if the space itself swallowed them. I turned around, trying to walk back toward the house, but no matter how far I went, the house didn't get any closer. It stayed small and distant, like a picture hanging in the background of a stage. Panic started to creep in, but I forced myself to breathe. Maybe I was dreaming. Maybe I'd fallen asleep inside, and none of this was real. But then I heard it. A soft, rustling sound, coming from the far side of the yard door, what used to be the yard. It wasn't the wind, I knew that immediately. It was too deliberate, too steady, like someone dragging their feet slowly through the strange, glass-like grass. I froze, every part of me screaming not to move. The sound grew louder, closer, until I couldn't take it anymore. I spun around, searching for the source, but there was nothing. Just an endless stretch of a backyard that didn't belong to me anymore. My heart pounded in my chest as I started walking faster. This time not toward the house, but toward the shed. Maybe if I reached it, I could find something useful, or maybe even a way out. But the closer I got, the more wrong it looked. The shed was taller, darker, the wood twisted as if it had been burned, but never collapsed. The door hung open slightly, creaking as though someone had just slipped inside. I wanted to turn back. I wanted to run, but curiosity pulled me forward. I couldn't explain it, but something inside whispered that the only way out was through that shed. I pushed the door, and the sound was unbearable, like nails across metal instead of wood. Inside, the air was thick, suffocating, and the smell of damp earth hit me instantly. The shed wasn't empty, The walls were lined with objects that shouldn't have been there, things I had never owned. A cracked mirror leaned against one side, its reflection warped and bent, showing my face stretched into something I didn't recognize. On a table in the corner, there were photographs scattered around. At first, I thought they were of strangers, but when I picked one up, my blood ran cold. It was me, not just me, but me in different moments of my life. Some of them I remembered like my first day at college, the time I broke my arm as a kid. But others hadn't happened yet. There I was, older, standing in places I had never been, talking to people I didn't know. One photo made me drop everything. In it, I was standing right there, inside the shed, wearing the exact clothes I had on at that moment, staring directly at the camera as if I had been waiting for myself. I backed away, the photos spilling across the floor, my breath shallow and uneven. That's when the rustling started again. Only this time, it wasn't outside. It was behind me. I didn't turn around immediately. I couldn't. Every muscle in my body locked, but the sound grew louder until I forced myself to move. Slowly, painfully, I turned my head toward the darkness of the shed's far corner. And that's when I saw it. It was me, or at least, it looked like me. Same height, same face, same clothes. But the eyes weren't mine. They were darker, emptier, and they didn't blink. The thing smiled, but the smile stretched too far, curling up in a way no human mouth should. It stepped closer, and I stumbled back, my heel catching on the warped wooden floor. "Why are you here?" it asked, but the voice wasn't my voice. It was deeper, hollow, echoing like it came from a tunnel. I couldn't answer. My throat was dry, my body frozen. It tilted its head, waiting, and then whispered, "This is my backyard now." Something inside me snapped, and I bolted out of the shed, running as fast as I could through the sharp grass that cut into my legs with every step. I didn't care. All I wanted was to get back to the house. But no matter how far I ran, the house still hung in the distance like a cruel trick. Behind me, I heard footsteps. My footsteps perfectly matching my pace, always just a few seconds behind. I screamed, the sound tearing from my chest, but again it vanished into the air, swallowed whole. My vision blurred with tears, my lungs burning, but then something changed. The lights in the house flickered, brighter this time, pulling me like a magnet. I pushed myself harder, ignoring the pain, until suddenly I tripped. I hit the ground hard, the breath knocked out of me, and for a moment, everything went black. When I opened my eyes, I was lying in the grass. Real grass. The smell of dirt and rain filled my nose, and the soft hum of crickets reached my ears. Slowly, I looked up, and there was my house close, normal, exactly where it should be. I scrambled to my feet, running toward it, throwing the door open and slamming it shut behind me. My chest heaved, my body trembling, but I was home. I was safe. At least I thought I was. Okay. When I finally dared to look out the window, the shed was still there, dark, waiting, and for just a second, I saw a shadow move inside, a figure standing still, watching me. I don't go into my backyard at night anymore. Sometimes I even avoid looking out there. But I know it's not over. I know one day I'll have to face it again. And maybe next time I won't make it back. So tell me, if you stepped outside right now into your own backyard, would you be sure it was really yours? Or would you, like me, find yourself trapped in something much darker? Comment below what you think is really in that shed. Hit the like button if you'd ever dare to check. And don't forget to subscribe because trust me, there are more stories you won't want to miss.